Oh, welcome back to Old Ridge. Tom is now taking over the combine. He's perfectly okay to do that as it's on our fields. I can't let him drive on the roads at the moment, but that's no real problem. I think we've got more than enough there anyway. It's just started 12. So then we're going to go over to the home field. I've just hooked up onto the forage wagon. I'm going to start picking some straw. Now, I haven't looked at our stocks, and we don't want any more straw. We've got more than enough. In fact, I think we've got enough with what we already dropped for the next couple of years. Fine, it still was okay, but I thought I'd do a little bit of clearing up some of that, as well as keeping Tom empty. Well, the fun is going to come with me backing onto the pit. You know what my reversals are like. I've got Paul is busy at the moment trying to find homes for our crops what hadn't already been sold under contract. Which is, well, quite a bit of it. All the organic, of course, is sold under contract. We got rid of the stuff over to Chris at the grain merchants. Well, they're more seed merchants than grain merchants, because that, of course, was for seed, the barley, as is the wheat on 19 North. I'm trying to remember all the different numbers. Right, how's he doing anyway? He's 41%. Right, we might start here. We just clear some of this up. I'm not too worried if I don't get it all. As I say, we've got more than enough at the moment. Oh, would help if I dropped the pickup, of course. Also, the sun add this little what you call a heads-up display, so I can actually see what's going on with everything. I wish I understood it all, but there. We may have, well, I was going to say we might have to buy some, but because we haven't got a buyer, I don't really fancy renting one. We've got 11 still to clear, but if at least we get this done, I'm with him close to him, so it shouldn't take me too long to get over and empty him off. Means a bit of runabout for the old boy, i.e. me. But I'm probably need the exercise. As you see, he's not putting straw down. I wish I'd have checked on that before we started this off, but it's easy to be wise after the event. I kept the JCB running just so I can hop out there and quickly, and it looks like he has found a problem somewhere. It's going to get him out. I better switch that off. Keep the engine going. This isn't easy on the first pass. Once you get around the first pass, it gets a lot easier. What's he blocked on? Oh, he's found a tree. That's not unusual. We just help him out. Come on. I think he was trying to back up, and it's not the best of places to back up here. Just get him started off again, and then let him take over again. Right. This is where I try and remember what. Well, no, I can't remember, so I'll just have to look here. I think it's. That's it, that's what we want. I'll keep this up, I think now. You've seen who Tom is. And I'm not going to run back. I'm too old for all this running about. You should be alright from now on. It's just that some of those trees are just in the wrong place when you're trying to get on there, especially if you're trying to get every grind. And I guess Tom will be trying to prove that he can do the job better than anyone. As we all do when we're young. We're all certain we're better than everyone else. Whereas as we get older, we know we're better than everyone else. It's nice to actually have both big tractors all to myself today. Just got to clear some of this up here, but so it's not that important. But, and I think I'll soon have to go and empty him out. He should now have got round one lap, so it should be easier now. Yeah, I think we better just. Well, I'm not gonna run across this field again, just as we're coming up here anyway to where the JCB is. If he fills up before I get to him, no worries. And I think you will, because I'm just going to try and take this out. You know what it's like, you say you don't really want it, but you always try and get as much as you can. Alright. Leave the engine running and leave everything else running. And he's filled up. See, did we take the sheet off? Yeah, it looks like it. No, we'll soon find out. Just hope he remembers to press the button. Oh, he has. Good lad. I'm going to wait here because I'm just going to move this out of the way. I don't want this to get in his way. It will be on this turn, I reckon. So harvest is here yet again, and yet again. I was thinking back. Last night to what it used to be. I know Grandpa always used to tell me about the days when he was in charge. When he first started, they got just about everybody in the village with a scythe and stone. Stone is just for sharpening the scythe. If you don't understand the significance of it. And they'd be marching backwards and forwards. That was 6 paces, sharpen your scythe. You know, 6 sweeps, sharpen your scythe, and carry on that all day. And we're full. There's no way out, but we'll take this way because we're going to be getting into Tom's way of it. So I think what I might just do is go up to the lambs first and just see if they want any straw. As I've got some aboard. And there's a good chance I need to see what they're actually like. Everything tends to get forgotten during harvest. All that matters is getting the grind in. Looks like I do about 2, empty them twice before I have to go and empty that trailer. Anyway, I was saying about the old days. Then you'd have a gang behind the men with the scythe, and they were the real experts. You see someone's scythe and who knows what they're doing. It's an art. It really is. But then you have a gang come behind, tying the sticks, then standing them up until they finish drying, because you don't cut And certainly not then. You didn't cut it when it's anywhere near ripe. You cut it when it's ripe, and there's a good chance you'd lose all the head corn. It'd all fall out. After it's had a day or two in the field to dry, you bring it into the barn where you thrash it by hand. What a job that was. I have seen it done, and I wouldn't want to do it today. You use a flail, and that's what the old weapon you see that the knights used to carry. That's what it was originally used for. No, I've got to go a bit further. Oh, they don't look too bad actually in there. Is that no, he's down 61. Let's try and get out. These trees are a bit of a nuisance, but I'm not going to cut them down. I made a promise to some environmentalists I wouldn't cut any more trees down. I might take some branches off, but I wouldn't cut any more down whilst they were still healthy. We're trying to run this as a farm that cares about nature. We're still using far too much artificial fertiliser and that, but it's not as bad as it was. And that's on the side. I've got a problem with an Allison. If you got a lump in on the mic, it was Alice again. How's he doing? 78. Alright, I think I better swing in past 12 and come and empty him again. Don't think I'm going to get much straw lifted, but I'll get a little done. And of course, after we had the men with the size, next stage up was when these reapers arrived. They were horse-drawn in those days, horse or oxen-drawn. I don't really want to leave this in the field. Yeah, he's full again. Oh, I better go up alongside. The reapers were a big sail which came down, pulled or knocked the corn into the cutter bar, and it was very, very good indeed. Then you normally had 2 men operating them. Well, 3 was the horsemen. Be someone looking after the horses. There'd be one making certain that the reaper was going in straight. That was rather important, and you'd have one man tying. The man would be tying the sticks together, which would be just dropped off the back. This is the early ones of when they first come out. You had to hand tie, and you'd have a crew behind which would be gathering up and standing them up again to dry, and then it's that's when you get your first actual threshing machines. They were very simple. It was basically you had a horse pulling a bar round in a circle outside, which through pulleys and shafts would actually operate a flail, an automatic flail in the barn. Still mainly manual, still a lot of hard work. And look at the next stage up with the reaper was they managed to get them to auto tie the string. Now that was a great improvement. Still mainly horse drawn, so instead of 3 men on it, you know, we're down to 2 looking after that. And you still have your crew coming up behind. It's always your men coming up behind, men and women, and children. That's why certainly in a lot of agricultural areas. School holidays, summer holidays were so long and went into September. It was so that you could get the whole village out. When I've done this, I better go and empty this one off. You get the whole village out on the harvest. And by this time, traction engines were starting. The traction engines weren't a lot of good for harvest. Let's be fair about this. They couldn't really do the harvest. They were too big. You can imagine the size of a traction engine, how much damage they could do in the field. But they managed to speed up and automate almost the rest of the tasks. You no longer had to worry about either hand flying the grind or having someone look after a horse, poor old horse which would be walking round and round in circles. It was not a nice job for the horse, actually. Walking miles of course a day, getting nowhere. Well, mind you, didn't use one horse, you swapped them over every so often as they start to get tired. But again, you had to get the harvest done. It was an imperative. You could not waste time. But the thrashing machines, if you've been to one of these steam rallies, you always see one of these thrashing machines there. They always got one there, they always got it working. And you have quite a crew on those. You have two up top, one cutting, one feeding. You have two or three down below, throwing them up to the men on the thrashing machine. And because a lot of the wagons would be horse drawn, you'd have one or two men behind unloading and tying, and one man who had the job of the tally man, who was counting exactly what came off. And you'd have another one getting the straw out of the way. When the baler came in, you managed to connect the baler into it. It improved matters again. You had to two or three on that. You either had someone feeding it in. I'm not going to try and get round there. That's the problem Tom was getting into. I'm going to go up this way. And I think by the time we get back, I've got to have to empty them again. And on baler, you had two men put the wires through to do bales up to wrap them or to tie them up, and you use wires and not string. String actually came in later, but on the early ones it was quite often wire. You'd have someone taking the bales away, a couple loading up the trailers, take them away and unload them at the other end. You'd have so many men working on the farm. It was unbelievable, really, just how many men it took. Now you look at it, there's two of us. We're already cut 2 fields and well on the way on the 3rd. We've gathered some of the corn, some of the straw up. Oh, we got even better once the tractor came in and we managed to get tractor drawn reefers. Then even better when the first combine harvester came up. And this must be things like the little John Deere tow behind it. But all the manufacturers made a tow behind at some stage. And you towed up behind your tractor. It's offset so the tractor was outside the grind. The tractor would be run about here, and the combine harvester would be in the grind. It would cut it, thrash it, and you just needed someone else unloading it as it filled up. One man on the tractor, and Bob's your uncle. It was so much better now. I don't know if I can match his speed, can I? Seem to be cutting along at a good pace. Oh no, too anyway. He's just filled up. Timed that about right. Well, we're here. I think I'm going to hop out, leave that there, because it shouldn't be in his way there. Not for a while anyway. And we'll get down to the cattle sheds, I should imagine. That'd be our best bet. Just going to fill all the animals up with straw with this first lot. And that'd be just a rundown. And of course those first bales, you could, one man, well, a boy could manage them. They were tiny. You see the things they produce now. And of course the bales got bigger because it was more economic. Less handling. Because even with the small bales, you needed someone on the tractor, then one on the trailer, and two normally chucking up to them. All with pitchforks. That's what a pitchfork was for. You pitched the grain in. Now I did change this to a drive-through, so we should be a lot quicker doing this now. Oh yeah, we definitely needed some straw in there. We've got any left, we'll just whip across to the calf breeding pens and put some in there. But I might come back and put another load in here yet. They will like the cows. Fresh straw, yeah. We can put another load in there. Look out the way, Bessie. You notice we've got a cattle grid on the end here. No gate, just a cattle grid. It seems to work okay. They know where they're best off. Just caught me reverser. Those brown ones always seem to be talking. Don't know what they're talking about. Right, we do another load. We fill up with grain again, get another load of straw on, and I think we call it quits today. Which should be the best way, this way back. There should be there is a gateway through there, and I should not take that now. We should be far enough around. Keep meaning to put a gateway in about here, or gap in the hedge about here, so we can get in easier, but never get round to it. There's one down here anyway. How's he doing? 54. Again, as I say, the straw is not so important this year, so I'm not gonna beat myself up if I don't clear it all. I'm gonna be leaving someone to put all the corners. I'm certainly good at it. It's like a bullet a gate. 70%. Cut across onto this next row. And we've got another load into the milk cows. So we've got all of 11. If we want some more, we're no better when we clear these. And we've got 19 north. We can take the straw off that if we need any more. There's going to be a lot of straw up there. Oh, he's just about full again, so I'm going to have to run across again. We might as well let him fill up. He can have a little bit of a rest while I'm walking across to the tractor. Even better if we fill this up, I'd drive it up that way, so I'm not so far to walk. Now other things was happening, it's not a lot. So far we haven't got more word of Tom's old acquaintance. He is a bit worried about it, so if things should go wrong with his driving, that's probably the reason. See if we can fill this up before we go and empty him out. And he's full again. Oh, I'm full again. I keep thinking I might have to invest in a bigger forage wagon, but especially now we've got the tractors to pull it. Oh, this is nice. We might have a shot with all 3 tractors in it. Let's just get him about. Yeah. Back to this one. Oh, I left a brake off. Don't tell Tom, please. It's good job Kylie isn't here now. She would have done a nut if I'd have done something like that. Especially as I always, at the start of harvest, we go through safety precautions. And this goes back to, I think I told you, when we used to have balers on the farm. The reason we got rid of balers when the old chap was in charge, and when the workers caught his hand in one, they're a lot safer now than they were then. It was clearing the block, and the way it's loaded, it came down and just took his arm. Died a short while ago, the Lefty. You can understand why we called him Lefty. Alright, what I'm going to do is... hopefully I hit the right button, of course. I'm going to get them all now. If we come about... here, we can get all of them in. What about that? Oh, I don't want to be in there. I want to just see how much we've got in here. Get rid of that. 86. Oh, we're getting another 4 or 5 ton in there. No, it'd be best just to empty this off now. Yes, it's funny, we went to the stage of not from baling from no baling to baling to back to no baling again. Because we used to make straw stacks in those days, not as you see them now with bales of straw. This was just like old haystack. This was just loose straw stacked up in a barn. And sometimes, especially we had an expert thatcher working on the farm, someone who could thatch really well. We used to thatch the top of them. That used to keep them beautiful. But you don't see that many people who can thatch anymore. More's a pity. That branch on that tree is going to have to come down at some point. Especially with this, we've now got the big steer around it. Does tend to, if I pull and, if I got some behind it, and I've done it with the spraying gear, hit catches on it. But it's another load of barley. We're going to have a lot of barley this year. And a lot of beet too. I've got this feeling that the beet is going to be a record. And of course for us a record on potatoes. What's that you say we haven't done potatoes before? Well, very rarely. And I'm still wondering how I'm going to get the things up. I think I'm going to have, I will have to rent stuff. I don't think I'll really rent a self-propelled unit. We'll have to rent a two-piece unit, rotor and lifter. I think we'll rent those separately. We'll go over with and cut the tops off first before we decide to go in, because I know what these blasted potato houses are like, these little toe behinds. Oh. And just notice something I haven't got up there, which I need. It's 70% full already. Right, well, I'm going to start winding down now, I think. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you saw, please consider leaving a like. If you're not subscribed and actually still wish to see things being done on FS15, two reasons I still use 15, I not only use it for this map, one reason is this map. I enjoy playing this map so much. And the other one is soil mod. It's great pity it didn't come out on 17. I imagine soil mod with seasons would make it really, really tough. Oh, you see, Tom, apart from that first bit, he hasn't had a problem since. And he's just about done. I will just empty him out. Right, any comments, questions, queries, or anything else, feel free to post them in the comment section. I love to hear stories of the old days on the farm. I know a few of them, but not enough. And because in different parts of the world it's all done different. It sounds like, well, agriculture is quite a bit different now. Britain, we still tend not to use a no-till system. We still tend to plough, mainly because a lot of our land is heavy, and if you don't plough heavy land, you can be in real trouble. The grain just will not grow. Where if you're on light land, no-till is a perfect option. Done it again, just caught there, just these. Oh, switch that off. Anyway, with that, it's me saying cheerio for now. Cheerio.